Frozen 2 sees Elsa, Anna, and the majority of the cast from the original Frozen film back for a whole new adventure. And yes, they do take us on a hero's journey, but they also show us something else in Frozen 2. A world of colonization and assimilation. The film dropped right before Thanksgiving in America, giving us an easy connection between the Pilgrims and Native Americans, but there's another story here that I want to talk about, and that's the connection between Frozen 2 and the Sami people, the indigenous people in Scandinavia. In the original Frozen film, we get a lot of music, art, clothing, and reindeer that most likely puts us in Scandinavia, and even closer into Norway. And Frozen 2 takes us even further into that. Elsa and the gang go on a big quest, which becomes the majority of the film. But something else that happens during Frozen 2 is that they meet the indigenous people that live in the Enchanted Forest, known as the Northuldras. What comes to light is that the people of the Arendelle Kingdom didn't treat the Northuldras with respect, and instead built a dam on their land in order to keep the waters away from their kingdom. This storyline conjures up the idea of Native Americans being conquered by Europeans, being pushed further and further away from their own land, killing off populations of indigenous people and forcing them to assimilate to European culture. And this exact idea happened in Scandinavia, and in fact it happened maybe the most harshly in Norway. The Sami people have been more or less a part of the northern Arctic region of Scandinavia for a majority of history, and their indigenous languages date all the way back 3,500 years ago. But their reign as a major population in Northern Europe would constantly be tampered with. The Vikings were the first to come and take away land from the Sami people and also force taxes onto that land that they'd been living on for centuries. But real destruction of the Sami culture came in the 1800s. The Sami people were polytheistic and believed in spirit animals, something that we actually see in Frozen 2, with a lizard representing the fire spirit and a horse representing the water spirit. However, during the mid-1800s, Lutheran Christianity became the major religion of Sweden and Norway, and the Swedes and Norwegian people started assimilating those Sami natives. There were revolts, but those who tried were either imprisoned or executed, which forced the Sami people to comply. By the early 1900s, the Sami language was completely banned from public use, and churches and schools wouldn't even teach it. And the Norwegian government really wanted their land, so the Sami people had to prove that they could speak Norwegian in order to keep, buy, or sell land, which caused a lot of displacement, taking major populations and breaking them into smaller communities. And this land displacement seems to have taken place in Frozen 2, with the indigenous people, the Northuldras, living in the Enchanted Forest, completely away from Arendelle. Two peoples that live near each other, but have no communication and live completely different lives. Elsa and Anna didn't even know that the Enchanted Forest existed, or the people that lived there actually lived there. But an even closer tie to the film, and something I really want to stress on, is the Alta Hydroelectric Power Station, a giant dam that would cut off the Alta Elva River in the late 1980s. The original idea for the dam would have created a lake that would have put the Sami village of Maze completely underwater. And despite opposition and protesting from the Sami people, the dam was built and completed in 1987, with many Sami people being arrested because of the protests. And the dam would once again continue to displace Sami people and their herds of reindeer, a creature that the Sami people have close ties to and again are heavily featured in the film Frozen 2. For centuries, the Sami people have actually praised the reindeer, seeing it as a source of income and food. They continue to still keep reindeer to this day, selling off the pelts and meat from their herd. But Norway has also stepped in and put regulations on how many reindeer a person can have, limiting them to 75. And that may seem like a lot, but a majority of Sami reindeer herders have way more than 75. Herders see this as a chance for the government to keep them down and oppress them economically, taking the wealth for themselves and keeping the Sami people at a distance. For Norwegians, they want to see the reindeer population lowered so that they can continue to build larger cities and suburbs. But the Sami people live off the land and have very small villages, allowing for reindeer to roam free and to continue to mate and grow larger and larger in population. But with the continued push for city development, the reindeer and the Sami people have less and less land to live on. And while the treatment of these indigenous people has been a giant stain on Scandinavia's history during the 18 and 1900s, the 21st century still has not been super great for the Sami people. To rectify their wrongdoings, Norway's built a Sami university, schools, and even has its own governing body. But Norway has continued to draw a line on how much they'll accommodate the Sami culture. Sami languages are seen as official languages in 2 counties in Norway, and it's taught in Sami schools, but it's still not considered an official language of Norway. And the Sami people are still fighting to get their language seen on signage around major cities. And the Sami people are still fighting to get their languages taught in schools, as there are many Sami people dispersed around the Arctic region who are far and away from the major population of Samis. The Sami people used to be the majority population in Scandinavia, but with a population of 5 million in Norway, there are only 40,000 of these people left. But what Frozen 2 gives us is hope for a better life between these two peoples, that of the modern Norwegians and the indigenous peoples of this area. The film itself has even been praised by the Sami people as a better look into the conflicts going on between them and the Norwegian government. And through the Northuldras of this film, we see how the Sami people live. They're now easier to understand and empathize with. So here's hoping for a brighter future for these native people of Norway. If you love this true Disney history and want to see more videos in a series about real-world events, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of that kind of idea. I'd love to make more of those types of videos. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video. It does help us spread the word about Network 1901, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you'd like to further help us, make sure to check out our Patreon page, where we're uploading new audio and video content all the time, as well as you'll have the ability to join our Discord, get merch, and so much more. And also, Angie and I run Modern Mouse Boutique, a little venture that we have for hair accessories. If you're interested in maybe a good pair of Elsa ears, we've got them for you. You just head over to modernmouseboutique.com, or again, click the link down below. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and keep on moving, people.